In just a minute, we're going to take you back to that moment. I'm talking about the scene of the crime in Butler, Pennsylvania, the place where President Trump was nearly assassinated. And I'm going to take you back there, but I'm going to take you back there for a very unique reason, and that is to listen to the guy that inspired us all with his incredible vocals. I'm talking about international classical crossover artist Chris Macchio. He's Trump's favorite opera singer. He's I know you've seen him along the campaign trail. You've seen him in the White House lawn. You've seen him at the RNC. But it was that night when he returned to Butler, Pennsylvania, where Trump was nearly assassinated, and sang those amazing songs like God Bless America that just brought tears to us. And he's going to do it again. He's going to do it again in a couple of days at the inauguration of the 47th President of the United States. He's going to be right there. And you're going to see a lot of this guy in the months to come. I predict he's going to play a very special role in the Trump administration from a cultural perspective. So let's take a look at a clip of Chris Macchio singing there in Butler, Pennsylvania, and then I'll have him right here on CIA Contagious Influencers of America. I'm David Sam. Stay with us. Hey, Chris, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Fantastic. Good to see you. It looks like it's magic hour there, and we have the magic voice to go along with the picture.
Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, man, this is your season, I'll tell you. You have so many fans out there, so many folks that have come to know and love you over the past few months. Now that are you like President Trump's official go-to? I know
Yes.
you and Lee Greenwood sort of have him bookended, I guess, right?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody in the president's orbit just believes in his mission. And so whatever we can do in the furtherance of that, it's all of our collective privilege to do it. And so I've been so lucky and honored to participate in a number of these high profile events. And I'd like to think that I'm his go-to guy at this point, and I hope to continue to do so.
Well, I'm hearing rumors that you will be for some time, and that first of all, let's back up. How did you meet President Trump?
Well, I actually met him one year where they were, it was the day before New Year's Eve, and they were missing a headliner for the annual New Year's Eve gala at Mar-a-Lago. And so one of the members suggested my name, and he said, no one's ever really heard of this kid, but he's really good. He'll knock everybody's socks off. And so then Donald Trump said, sure, fly him down. And so I jumped on the next plane on the morning of New Year's Eve down to Palm Beach. And I did exactly that. I knocked everyone's socks off, and the president, Donald Trump, got on the mic and said how marvelous and magnificent my voice was. He introduced me to Rod Stewart, and I ended up a week later. It's Rod Stewart's 70th birthday party at his house in Beverly Hills. And so I owe that exposure right away to then Donald Trump, and then since then I've just become closer and closer into the Trump orbit, and really things got to the next level when I had the solemn privilege of performing for his brother Robert's funeral at the East Room of the White House, and that's really when I think we made a deeper connection, the president and I, and so I've been privileged and honored to do a number of events for he and the family since that time.
So, what's it mean for you to be able to be there for and perform for the 45th and 47th president of the United States?
Well, it's it's extremely meaningful, and it's a tremendous honor in a multitude of ways. First of all, I have always just been personally a huge fan of the person in Donald Trump and what he has always represented, and the way he has always conducted himself in his business over the years, going back all the way to the 80s. In fact, when I was a kid, growing up in the 80s, I had two nicknames going back to elementary school, and those were Mr. President and Donald Trump. And so it really is interesting that the course of my life would, bring me, into the circle and of somebody, of Donald Trump, who then became president, who embodied both of those things that my classmates nicknamed me all those years ago. And so it means something to me personally, but also just the opportunity to represent music and culture. And for him to, he's been so generous in providing a platform and a forum for me to share my passion for music with the world, and also to share his passion for music. You'll remember that the First Lady Melania wrote a letter not too long ago talking about some of the human sides to President Trump that are often overlooked or misrepresented in the media. And his passion and love for music was specifically mentioned. And I think that I represent part of that. And of course, he was friends with and a great admirer of the talent of the late, great Maestro Luciano Pavarotti. And he mentioned that name to me when I sang at the White House, and he made a what I find to be a very flattering and comparison between Maestro Pavarotti and myself. And he likes to tell everybody that I made sure he knew that Maestro Pavarotti will always be number one, but I'm honored and privileged to be a very distant number two.
Well, that's fantastic. My nickname, your nickname was Donald Trump in high school. Mine was Simba. So I guess
Oh wow!
that about says it all.
I love it. I love it.
So what was life? What was life like growing up?
Oh, well, that's a broad question, but in general, before I discovered my musical gift, I was really just a cerebral child. I really just kept most of myself reading books. I was in the gifted programs in school and all that, and that was really, the focal point and part of my identity. And all of a sudden, in high school, my voice was discovered, and so that was a really tremendous turning point in my life. It provided an avenue for me to connect with people that I never imagined that I would have. And also, it was clear to me that this gift was not an accident, especially being given to someone who had no previous desire to perform. I wasn't a performer in search of an avenue. It was the other way around. And I knew that that gift had been endowed to me by God. And I thought, I realized that it was really important to recognize that as publicly and as often and explicitly as I can, because I think that people need to feel okay again mentioning spirituality, mentioning God in the public space, and so I give God, of course, the credit for my gift and indeed all of our gifts, whatever it is that we've been endowed with. So I think it was also a turning point in my spiritual life because now I really had something that was meaningful, that connected me to my fellow man, both professionally and also in a very visceral, personal way. And it's been such a blessing in my life to have that opportunity. Uh, being a shy, reserved person, when I perform, people, they do all the work. They come to me and they have a desire and a need to express what exactly it is that I made them feel during the show, during the performance. And again, it's just a humbling thing to have people from all walks of life. It could be, uh, you know, it could be a CEO, it could be royalty, or it could be the gentleman that, is charged with the task of cleaning up after the event is over. And all those sorts of people, they feel a need to come to me and tell me what it is that the music that I presented means to them, and that just means the world to be able to connect with all kinds of people. And I think that progressive spirit is also part of what's consistent with the deportment and the campaign of President Trump and the way that he had run his campaign and appealing to folks of all walks of life. One interesting thing that I observed, we were at Butler. I was on tour in Italy, a concert tour, and walking on the streets of Venice, I received a call from the campaign, and they said President Trump had a vision of me coming to Butler and performing for his return to Butler, where the assassination attempt had occurred. And when I performed there, they had a hospitality tent set up in the barn. Of course, it was, it's the farm show, I think they call it, the Butler Farm Show. And there is a literal barn behind where they set up the stage and everything. And, there were all kinds of donors, billionaire donors, Elon Musk, every political, mover and shaker that wanted to be a part of that event. But I can tell you that President Trump spent the most amount of time, and probably for him the most meaningful time, with the family of Corey Comparatori, the fireman, the hero fireman who was lost that day during the assassination attempt. So that's just one of many examples I can quote you where the man that President Trump is and has always been came shining through, where instead of focusing on all of the people that maybe could do something for him, could donate more money or could, pull more strings or help him in other ways. He knew that what he was called to do in that moment was heal that community and help heal that family of that hero fireman. And so that to me speaks volumes about his character. And it's just one more reason that I'm so honored to be a part of his team.
So, it's just got to be mind blowing to think that you're going to be performing at the inauguration that day. And can you, if you went back to the 10-year-old self when you were 10, could you have a vision of this? Did you have any idea what your destiny was?
I can say this. And I think I can't speak for him, but I will hazard a comparison that I think perhaps President Trump always felt that he was destined to contribute something meaningful to our society. And I did have a sense as a child that I was destined to contribute something meaningful. I didn't know what that would be, or whether it would be connecting with people, or whether it would just be inventing something in a basement laboratory somewhere. But I knew there was something that I was going to be called to do. Um, but no, I never would have imagined that, that calling would come in the form of performing for him, for the nation, and for the world, and delivering, God's beautiful music for people to appreciate and connect with one another through. It's just such a blessing, and I never imagined that that kind of opportunity would come my way, and that I would be able to find it within myself to share, to share that kind of spirit, and share myself in that way, in such a public way. It has really allowed me a lot of room for personal growth, and to just have that satisfaction of connecting with people, and it's really mind blowing. And I'm just so, at the end of the day, the operant word here, the most important word, is gratitude. I'm just so humbled and grateful for these opportunities, and I hope that the people that are listening, whether it's at the inauguration broadcast or around the world or anything that happens after that, I just hope they know, how much it means to me, and I hope that I make them feel something, that they're touched by what it is that I'm putting across, and that it reminds them. I hope it serves as one of any number of reminders that the fact that they are human beings, that they are created by God, is a noble fact, and they should always maintain and be aware of their dignity as human beings on this planet, as creations of God in His own image, and I hope that they remember that and reflect on that wonderful reality that we can all be so proud of. That really is the purpose, I believe, of the art and culture itself, is this noble articulation of the true nature of man. And I hope that they feel something along those lines when I perform.
Well, Chris, listen, it really has been wonderful catching up with you. And you know what? God bless you. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for the words that you speak and the voice that you have. And thank you for using that incredible talent that you have. And just keep on keeping on, my friend. And I know we're going to see you many, 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 many times over the next few years. And
God willing.
I can't wait to catch up with you personally.
And thank you so much for all that you do, and just reaching the people that you're able to reach through these various mediums, and doing this great work. So thank you so much.
Thank you, my friend. And thank you, Chris. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. You can see Chris at the inauguration here in a couple of days. The 47th President of the United States, Donald Trump. This has been CIA Contagious Influencers of America, from the #1 faith-based show in all of America, and that's Keep the Faith. Check out our website at KeepTheFaith.com, or you can, of course, check out ContagiousInfluencers.com, where you can see all the episodes that we've done over the years of this podcast. And, of course, check out our YouTube channel. That would be great, too, because we've been doing a lot more video lately, so do check that out. Until next time, I'm David Sams. Go out there and live that life in living color, because it sure is a heck of a lot more interesting than living in black and white. I'll see you next time.